we're just waiting for Platonic a second now. So who's your bet on this one, Apache? Because I think you have more of a knowledge on Very Easy than I do.
Yeah, to be honest with you, after Joe's game yesterday, getting a 104 PB by something like 30 seconds in a race, he showed a really aggressive style. He wasn't afraid to go for riskier strats. PlatonicGuy, I know from experience, is a very conservative racer. He's less likely to do even ladder glitch or some of the riskier stuff in the earlier game. So on paper, PlatonicGuy is the better player, but I think Joe could win here if he successfully pulls off his riskier strats.
Yeah. Unlike we've seen, but with the upsets, like we've seen Raichu entirely redoing the lead up to Fat Man. We had B&M having a game over in Tanker, but still pulling it back. There's
getting a 103
so
with a continue. It's
yeah,
been,
that's insane. Right,
I think we're going with the countdown now.
Oh, wait. Never mind. But no,
yeah,
that's the thing with marathons. There's just so much upsets, and it comes down to who has the better backup strats, really, and who can deal with things being thrown at them left, right, and center.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Platonic's very much got in his own head with some of the riskier stuff, so he's going to go for conservative strats and rely on his better movement to win this race.
Right.
And we're off.
And we're off.
Yeah, I think the tanker is going to be your biggest indicator, because Platonic will fall behind if he doesn't go for the ladder glitch, which he said he's not going to. He will go round the guard, project a guard, and hold one. I think he said he's going to free spot, so he's not going to do his usual fast strats there and catch the time up later. So how much time will he lose in the tanker to Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
And how quickly can he catch it back up?
Especially being ladder glitch being a trick that every runner does, and it's not like it saves a little bit of time. It's substantial. Even if you skip the first ladder, you're still talking 5 or 6 seconds, which is huge and very easy.
Yeah, I mean, you get about 10, 11 seconds for a successful one. Platonic's having some controller issues here, by the looks of it. It's something like if you miss a shot on Olga and you have to shoot it 5 times, that loses about 10 seconds. Difference between 5+1 and a 5 shot, about 13 seconds. So it's in that vein. It is, every second counts in this difficulty. But of course, it's very easy to mess up. It's very easy to mess up the ladder glitch, and getting a continue in that room costs you 20-30.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. It's just, especially with a run that's mostly about movement and bosses, like, just one little thing can just put you behind, and those little things stack up very quickly.
I don't know if you saw that, but Joe does an initial headshot on the left side Olga, and Platonic also doing the additional shot. He's going to do 2 here to set up the loop. I think it's incredibly risky, but it's paid off for both of them here. Wow. This is a relatively new way of doing the loop, and I believe it was found by King of the Bees. PlatonicGuy timed it out, but it's interesting to see them both go for it there. So about even. We're going to go for the Dave Wildstar animation cancel now. Let's see if either of them can get it. Yeah, Platonic's still having some controller issues here.
Looks like.
His character's just stopping occasionally.
But we know the controller mapping on PC isn't that good at the best of times anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think everyone at some point is going to have problems with the controller, whether it be dead zones, buttons not pressing correctly, the dreaded L3 cancel. If you hold L3, it'll prevent you from shooting. Snap back. Yeah, he's still having his character freeze every time he enters a new room.
The dead zones was the biggest one that affected me, especially using Xbox One controllers. Found when I transitioned to DS4 and V's fixed that it wasn't that bad, but it's still noticeable.
Hey, hate to see it, but Platonic's having real issues here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're doing a reset. So we're going to let Platonic sort out his controller issues. We're going to do a reset.
Yeah. Especially because it's so early on, and
I,
honestly,
I
tanker is one of the most crucial parts
I
of
know
the run.
I know Joe well, and I know he would always. I know he would give a person a reset. He wouldn't want to win a race based on controller issues this early.
Yeah,
He wouldn't want to see it.
yeah. That's the thing, especially because this community is one that is quite close knit as well.
Yeah,
Everybody knows everybody.
competitive, but very interested in fairness as well. I think
Yeah,
that's like core to everyone.
yeah. It's like I remember when I came back to the game recently, and Limes was just chilling watching the runs. He's like, "Oh yeah, this has been improved on," and he's just sent me a bunch of resources and videos to improve. And that's the thing. It's like everybody thrives on being competitive and helping everybody grow, and it's just amazing to see, especially in forums like this as well.
Yeah, and it's really made the difference to the run. I mean, that time's come flying down to a high 102.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't happen without cooperation. You
No,
know, one
exactly.
you can get a very intelligent person who can find a lot, but you can never beat having fresh eyes on stuff.
Exactly. And that was one of the most refreshing things as well, is because I think for the longest time I was one of the only people looking into the game like at a coding and structure level, and then all of a sudden just new people come onto the scene and everybody's looking at it, and so much new stuff that I've missed have been found, and it's been great.
Yeah, and I think that that kind of environment where people do feel welcome, they do feel comfortable sharing ideas, that just breeds more people coming in and sharing ideas and fresh eyes and so on.
Exactly.
So it snowballs, and I think it's keeping an attitude that there's always more to find as well, and nothing's solved. And I mean, when did we find the latest thing for VE? Yesterday.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it makes a
So
massive difference.
we're going to give Platonic a minute to sort out his control. You could see quite obviously there that he was being put to a standstill like quite a few times, and we just don't want to see that in such a high level match and anticipated match. Um, there couldn't be anything worse, right, than seeing someone lose because the controller isn't working.
Yeah,
That would be horrific.
especially that early on in tanker, because tanker is one of the most crucial parts of the run as well, the opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's such a small and real technical um, optimized area. It's
Especially in the
scary.
latter half. Especially in the latter half of the
Yeah,
holes.
yeah, absolutely. Um, So not quite 10 minutes scout. About six
Oh
on
yeah,
V,
6 on VE in it. My
low
bad.
six.
My bad.
Well, I don't know about your tanker, but my tank.
Well, on normal, it's about 7 minutes, 7:20, I think. But it's been a long time now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what difficult you're on. Tanker is just such a highly optimized area where,
Yeah.
um, if you're a little bit slow going into a room, that can affect things. Um,
Hole two
so
and
hopefully,
photos, especially.
yeah, hopefully, Platonic Guy's controller is just working fine now. In the chat, it looks like he sorted it. But yeah, both of them were looking pretty good out the gate there,
Yeah.
strats wise. We had two left Olgas there, so I wonder what we'll see this time. Olga can obviously spawn on the left or the right.
Yeah, looks like Platonic's ready this time. And yeah, Joe's ready too.
Unlike all of the difficulties, a right Olga is actually faster and very easy.
Oh, I see.
And we're going.
I
We're
can
going.
imagine because that's because you get the first headshot straight up.
Yeah, you only need to body shot her twice at the beginning, and then two
Oh wow.
headshots will finish the fight. Unlike other difficulties where it's four headshots needed, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a small thing that really tips the balance between the two sides. But that left side strategy that they were doing, where they headshot her at the start, that evens it up. That evens up the speed of it.
Yeah.
So just really technical players and using relatively new stuff for the boss fights is cool to see. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that comes out with this
Yeah.
RNG heading up there.
Yeah, because that's the thing with a lot of the boss fights in this game. They are quite RNG heavy. Like you got Fat Man's pathing isn't the best. Harrier, if you mess up one of the shots, you've got to deal with the RNG aspects of it. Olga RNG. The only one really is Vamp.
Yeah, it's 'cause we repeatedly fire stingers at his face.
And
Get
even if
rid-
you don't fire stingers at his face and you go for the EUEX strat, you're just manipulating him and punching him up close. That's pretty
Alright.
much neck and neck here, no?
Right Olga for Joseph, right Olga for Platonic. So we've had 2 left and 2 right. This strat's much easier. Just shoot her at the start, let her go to the cutscene, and when she comes out, headshot her twice. After the 3rd headshot, she can either run forward or run back. It's actually a lot quicker if she runs forward, but again, that's just RNG. So run forward for Joe, run forward for Platonic.
Platonic.
Oh, we missed the
Oh, he
headshot.
missed.
That's
Oh,
really
and he
costly.
bodied. Oh no.
That's so costly.
There we go.
That's like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Oh
Absolutely
wow.
hate to see it. And Joe,
And
no
that's what I
dab
mean
drop
with
for Joe.
marathons.
Let's see if Platonic can catch up with a half-second time save Dave Wildstar. She's gonna. He didn't. Oh, I thought he wasn't gonna go for it then. So if you unequip your gun and mash square as you're going down any kind of fall like off boxes, it does have a chance to cancel the
Yeah.
animation. And again,
Yeah.
that was found 2 weeks ago or something. So
Yeah, because it was always a thing before, but we had no idea how to actually execute it.
yeah.
We always thought it was just running at a specific angle. So it's nice to see that people actually know what causes that now.
Yeah, well, me, Platonic, and a few others all commented on his YouTube videos asking him how to do it until he told us. That's how we find out.
Amazing.
If you don't, if you don't come into the community and tell us how to do stuff, don't worry, we'll come to you.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
So
much.
Joe going with the swag strat in the engine room. He's got a nice clean drop off there. Oh, bit of a mess up there, I think. Bad menu. Platonic doing the same thing. And we've seen a lot of people doing this swag strat as well.
It's so clean as well.
Yeah, I feel like more people have done it than haven't overall in this race.
Oh. There you go, he's still fine.
As long as he doesn't take a shot.
Yeah, I was scared the guard at the back was gonna get a shot on him then.
Yeah, going for the sensor. Only one on very easy, but as we can see, as we've seen, you can still get it wrong and blow up the boat, which is very costly, but clean from both of them. Now they both do a crazy strategy in deck 2 where they will shoot the guard twice with the SOCOM and then M9 him. Platonic taught Joe this, so we should see them both do it. And that just means it's less likely you'll get the alert when shooting the second guard with the M9. It makes the third guard go to sleep quicker.
Oh.
It's more useful on higher difficulties, because on very easy you can just hug the right side to shoot the guard with the M9, but still. Interesting to see a mix of strats, even in a room like this, which you'd think could be the same for everyone. We're still seeing like a mix of strategies.
That's one thing that surprised me a lot in this tournament is just the variety of different strategies for specific rooms.
Platonic
how varied they have been.
Platonic went to cheese the guard by shooting him with the M9, which you don't need to do, but he accidentally shot the smoke and woke himself and like woke the guard up. So he lost about, I don't know, a second for that, but it's not the time to swag Platonic.
Anything can happen in these next 3 rooms as well now.
For sure. I just think it will come down to whether Platonic's calm, safe way of playing will beat Joe's aggressive play.
Mm.
And you don't expect Joe, knowing Joe and how kind he is and how nicely spoken he is, you wouldn't expect him to be such an aggressive player. But really, he's like this, crazy aggressive player. Yeah. So you see Platonic not doing ladder glitch
In the old school way. It's always the quiet ones.
Yeah, we've seen some game overs in hold 1 and 2. So I can understand his mentality and just taking the 10-second time loss. Platonic's got some of the best plant movement in general. Oh, Joe might take a continue here. See, he knew if he rolled, he was going to get seen as well, so he kind of had to adjust on the fly. So Platonic pulls slightly ahead from that. Platonic going with the hold-up strat, much safer.
There we go.
Roll strat is a second faster as long as you take the severe angle, which makes it harder to set up the roll. Hold-up is just much safer in my opinion. Again, Platonic going with 3-spot cameras. He does know how to do 2-spot, but he just wants to be as safe as possible. And Joe's 2-spot is a little bit slow. It's probably about the same speed as a 3-spot.
Yeah.
That fourth picture was way far to the right,
Yeah.
and that can mess up the photograph. So
I think
hopefully he's
that's
okay.
registered as front.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay, but
Generally speaking, if you go too far to the right of that last pillar, it doesn't register. It looks like it's okay.
oh, he's
though.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anyone mess up pictures yet, but what a costly error to make.
Yeah.
So Platonic and Joe neck and neck, but this is Platonic's playground. Plan, especially early during all the way up to bomb disposal and beyond. His movement is so insanely good, and that's from playing a lot of VR.
Yeah.
Like Platonic is one of the best VR players for this game, certainly. So every single bit of movement is going to count here.
Yeah.
Joe's movement, I'd say, isn't as good. It's getting better. He tends to do a lot of unnecessary cartwheels, which, as we know,
Costs
aren't
a
always the
lot
best
of
option.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plenty of time to be lost from doing them wrong.
Oh, 100%. Because like we've said to death at this point. I know I've said it to death, especially that movement is everything in this run.
Yeah, it really is, and
Absolutely everything.
I think Platonic's among the best movement wise. I wonder if he'll go get the M9. I know people have been doing that.
Yeah, it was quite interesting to see because you get
Yep.
Platonic's going for it. They're both going for it.
Yeah,
Oh
I
no, they're
thought
not.
Joe
No,
would
they're
as
not.
well. Oh no, maybe not. But yeah, BMN
I mean, it makes sense. You
popularized
get
the
the
getting the
extra
M9.
ammo.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're ever going to use that many bullets really, but it can't hurt, right? And you're not doing anything else anyway, so.
Yeah. You know, if it doesn't waste time and it opens up backup strats, then what's there to lose? You know.
Keeps your hands moving as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they're very close at the moment.
Be interesting to see if either of them try and go for the codex roll now to the door.
I think Joe does, but Platonic won't.
No, he just takes a nice tight angle and gets
Really
first
bad
try.
roll from Joe. Yeah, that's the danger when you go for that cartwheel through the codecas. It's easy to mess up.
Yeah.
Platonic running down the stairs. He didn't do two cartwheels there. Neither will Joe. It's actually slightly faster to just roll into that cutscene because the second cartwheel doesn't actually go all the way and you don't really get any benefit from it. So it's better to walk downstairs and just roll into that.
Mm.
So I wonder if they'll both have. Yep, they both got the M9 menu trick. Then they need to unequip the M9 before they go into Struck B, so they can re-equip it at Stillman. If Joe remembers. Nope. Oh yeah, he did just at the last second.
Did. Last second.
I think during bomb disposal, Platonic will get some lead just on the movement.
Maybe. Both getting the roll into the Kodak this time around.
Yeah, Joe's angle wasn't too great, so he'll have to
No.
readjust to be able to hit the cutscene at the door. I think that's such a horrible area, movement-wise. It's
Yeah. Especially
frustrating area.
starting out. That's the thing. Thankfully, with this run being so movement based, the skill ceiling for it like just general movement isn't that high. It just comes from playing constantly and getting used to it, and just muscle memory mainly. But then there's certain tricks like with the intentional alerts and stuff like that that can really mess you up at any point.
I'd have to completely disagree with you there, Scout.
Nah, fair enough.
I think the complete opposite of that is true.
Nah, fair enough.
I always feel awkward when I roll towards Snake here, and you have to do the menu for the coolant,
Yeah.
because you should catch him on the second roll, and then if you don't like that, your roll was bad.
Oh, I get to see the best guard vision as well in this room. You just stand right in front of him, defusing a bomb like nothing's going on.
Yeah, we messed around with this room a lot, and first we were opening it, spraying the guard, then spraying the bomb. People, shoot him and stuff. But the best thing to do is actually just spray the bomb, totally ignore the
yeah.
guard, and then trank him after the cutscene. You want to crouch to get that fast defuse.
Yeah, it's crouching to the top right, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you south of the bomb and you crouch, you'll pretty much get the fast defuse, and then you have to remember to stand just as you defuse it, so you hit the codec while stood up.
Yeah.
Oh, seam crouch for Platonic in a really strange place. You don't see them there that often. But yeah, there's always a chance that you can go fully prone when you cartwheel between where the cameras change.
Platonic taking a shot there as well.
Joe keeping this competitive with Platonic so far. So Strutty heliport first time for bomb disposal is it's one of the biggest rooms in the game, based on like the amount of area you cover. So there's plenty of time to make mistakes. It's easy to mess your rolls up to the Harrier for defusing the bomb.
Yeah.
We'll see a coolant rise to get out of this fast as well. Platonic's roll was nice. Joe's was nice too. A little bit of a slower coolant rise. It's always better to be safer with your coolant rise. Like do the button input slower than trying to do it too fast and getting the slow stand up.
Because like we've seen before, fractions of a second in VE can just mean everything.
Yeah, so many races have gone close. I wonder if we'll see any tricky damage cancelling the mines from Platonic. He's played really conservative so far, so maybe not. But he could go for this. No,
he's just avoiding them.
He's staying conservative. I mean, he does know how to do it. The roll you can roll and pick up the claymore, and then hold. A little bit of movement mistake there, and then you hold your gun out, and you can blow up both claymores without taking damage from them.
And that's wild.
Yeah, so it's about 4.5 seconds overall, just because of the easier movement you get every time you enter that room later.
That's a relatively new strat as well, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very, very new. I think BMN found it. I'm gonna guess BMN. He's finding everything nowadays.
It's good to see. It's really good to see.
Yeah, we actually he's the one who made the new time auto splitter that we use as well, that gives us stats and information. He's a very, very clever guy.
Yeah.
Now I know Platonic has problems with the pump room, not so much on coolant rises, but just on his movement. He gets like dead zone problems. But that doesn't look too bad. That's certainly serviceable. Here you can do a little glitch with the pipes. If you go at a severe angle, it'll just like squeeze you out. It's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Platonic did it there. Joe didn't get it there. And I know they'll both probably go for the new strat in Strut C, which is defuse the bomb first and then roll into the sensor.
Huh.
So it's a second faster even if you don't get the cartwheel into the sensor B.
Huh, that's weird.
So it's even faster if you cartwheel. That was timed out last night. But I know Platonic will know about it, but he might not want to incorporate something new into his run, he wouldn't. I don't think he would want to change things or change his game plan. But I'm pretty sure Joe will do it.
I mean, that's the thing, especially with runs like this, muscle memory just sort of takes in and locks over. Like, it's a big problem with me when muscle memory's in. I just autonomously go for it.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
Platonic's
looks
just going
like
for the sensor.
Platonic is getting the sensor. I think Joe will defuse the bomb first. That's going to be my guess.
No? He's going for the sensor too?
Hey, I've been wrong before. But yeah, essentially you don't get that. If you defuse the bomb and then get the sensor, you can cartwheel into it and it'll reset you back to standing after the codec. And then when you leave the strut, you don't get that kind of like painful pause before the codec comes in.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Still finding new stuff all the time. So that pause you get before the codec there, Platonic just got. It's kind of gross looking. You feel every second of it.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what time left they have when they hit the elevator now. There's a really cool roll you can do in here from the second black line, which will take you to the door. Platonic showing it off there. 383 with the old strat is really, really fast. So the time left will pause when they hit the room, so we can kind of time how fast they're doing this section on its own.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, 2 second
It's
lost.
unfortunate for Joe.
Yeah. So Platonic's superior movement allowing him to increase his lead some.
Yeah, those little movement issues can really get you in races.
Yep.
They just stacks and stacks.
She has 361 on the time left when he hits the elevator. Joe will be a 360, I think, or possibly a 359.
59. Oof.
Yeah.
Just over 2 seconds ahead.
I'm sure they both know how to do the new Fortune strat, and I'd be interested to see what kind of range they defuse the bomb at. There's a really good spot where you can do it from just a corner of the metal grid on the floor. It's a nice spot. If you stand too close when you defuse the bomb, after the codec comes in, it will make Raiden jump into the water. It loses about 5 seconds.
I was gonna say, have we seen anyone fall into the pool yet?
Not
I
so
don't
far.
think we
No one's gone
have.
in the drink, but I'm holding out hope. Oh, Joe nearly
Oh, that's
shot the bomb.
close.
That was scary. Please don't shoot the bomb, Joe.
Yeah, Platonic doing the setup for Fortune. This section of the run has gone through so many iterations. I remember at one point we were hammering away at trying to skip Fortune, but you quite literally can't unless you skip Shell 1, unfortunately.
Yeah, so there's a spot in the out of bounds where you can skip Fortune, but it just takes so long to get into the position that it's not actually worth doing. So if you do the swim...
in the out of bounds way?
No, sorry, I'm thinking of elevator at the start.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because essentially when you go into, or when bomb sequence is triggered, sorry, the version of the strat A we're in right now is swapped out entirely as soon as bombs sequence is triggered. So the only way to skip Fortune and the Fortune trigger is to entirely skip bombs, which would be the large skips, which is just going straight and getting the PSG1 and going straight to Shell 2. I spent a lot of time in this room trying to figure it out. And looking at the load triggers and the memory addresses, it just is impossible without skipping it.
1957 on the elevator for PlatonicGuy. I'm interested to see where Joe will be. His fortune's just ended now. Nice codec, but he's got his M9 and previous. Great chaff pickup for Platonic. He's about 20 seconds behind. Platonic made up a huge lead from Struck B to Fortune there.
Yeah.
Made up a lot of time.
Well, he's not going for the chaffs.
Yeah, Joe going chaffless.
taking the safe route, but I don't know how big a deal those chaffs are in VE.
Ever
I'm not
since
entirely sure.
ever since people started doing the Azu strat after Harrier, where you shoot the guard in the window with the M9,
Hmm.
it's looking about the same. I mean, I would attempt to pick them up, but I certainly wouldn't go back for them if I missed them.
Yeah.
So it's just a judgment call, and knowing your backups and knowing how to play if you have them or you don't have them
Yeah.
is key. And certainly knowing your menus, because your menus are a little bit different without the chaff there.
Oh, nice pickup of the
Nice
Claymore
Claymore
from Joe.
pickup, yeah. You want to get as close as possible with the roll, but if you go too far, you get blown up.
Yeah, you get blown up.
I don't think Joe picked chaffs up on the bridge. We have seen him do that in earlier races, picking them up on the BC connecting bridge, but I don't think he did that. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I don't think he did that
I
in
don't
this
think he
race.
did.
Platonic got a fast bomb to start. He's going for M9 Fat Man.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, clean. So yeah, M9 Fat Man allows you to get a one-cycle boss fight. Between the SOCOM and Strat and the M9 Fat Man. M9 is faster than everything but the absolute fastest SOCOM Fat Man.
Mm.
So it is a really consistent and fast strat. There are associated dangers with it as well, such as Fat Man doing a different animation. It's harder to knock him down. But that was really clean from PlatonicGuy.
100%.
I think that's the first one we've seen.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that same question.
People normally take the gamble with Fat Man RNG on the SOCOM.
Platonic building a pretty decent lead at the minute now,
Yeah.
especially going to Shell 1 core.
Yeah, that was such a clean Fat Man. It's going to give him additional time. I'm just going to time it out now, actually. Wow, Platonic doing the EF bridge with the analog stick. It's a lot harder to do. Easy to hit the Claymore. It's 32 seconds ahead now.
Wow. Just see
I think
the. Oh, go on, sorry.
I think Joe will use D-pad on the EF bridge. It's much safer.
Yeah, that's one thing that's been interesting to see is a lot more usage of D-pad in areas.
Yep, that was 100% D-pad strat. Platonic got the weird radio call. Sometimes when you knock that guard down, it will trigger a radio call. It's kind of random.
Oh, unfortunate for Platonic then.
Yeah, but it's certainly a rare mistake for him in this run so far. I think that's
Yeah, I
like
was
his
going to say his
first one,
movement's
right?
been fairly consistent.
Yeah, crisp. Hopefully Joe can pick up a bit of time on aims.
Yeah. Gotta love Ames RNG, or not RNG, depending which way you look at it.
Nice shell one from both of them so far.
Oh, 100%. It's been
Very
very
easy
clean.
for him to make mistakes on. Like, it's straightforward, but doing the wrong thing is so costly. And
Yeah.
we've seen people lose minutes of time in the shell one in this tournament so far. So Platonic looking for aims. I think overall we've seen better aims than bad ones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Wow.
That's a pretty good aims.
Oh, Joe
So
not going for the setup.
Joe's gonna struggle to beat that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he does a very weird setup there.
Wow.
His own homegrown setup. Joe really needs it. He really needs the good aims here.
No.
Send backup. I have an unknown target here.
So Joe got a bad aims, but because of the way he uses his camera, he can see the worst aims position from the way he walks in the corner of his eye. There's
Yeah.
very clever awareness there. So although he had the worst possible aims, the way he played allowed him to have as if it was like a southeast aims. He's done that twice in tournaments so far. It's very, very clever.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Platonic
I'd
went
never
for the
seen that
cartwheel up the
before.
stairs and got it. He got the
Let's
cartwheel up the
go.
stairs. So hard to do. And that's the first like really aggressive play we've seen out of Platonic. No, I'd say I think it's fair to say that M9 Fat Man was aggressive too. So
Oh yeah.
that was skills. Widening this gap going into a huge decider in this race, Harrier.
You guys gonna say can all come crashing down at Harrier for either one of them? I know for me personally, Harrier was a notorious run killer. No matter how much I practiced it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's just the like you get one chance at it factor, and you
Yeah.
have to do it exactly right. Any minor mistake messes it up for the rest of it. And you can fail right from the start. I mean, just picking up the stinger if you don't pick it up quick enough, can mess it up.
So unforgiving.
We'll see some sensors out of them as well. I think Platonic will take the sensors as safe as possible.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be trying to do any swag shots. Platonic's conservative play in his game plan is really paying off for him so far.
That was a nice
Oh my
shot.
god, he just did the swag shot.
Wow.
People love to prove me wrong, right? That was insane. That's so scary.
I know we've done nothing but talk about how conservative he's been in the past like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's just changed his game plan. He's just changed his game plan. That was insane. Okay, so going for 5+1. That's 5. That's half the battle. +1. And he's going for the better position so he can end on the stinger, which means he has chaff on previous, so he's chaff nothing. This is as perfect as it can be. Very nice. Very, very nice. Joe got a bad position for the sensor, which means he's had to readjust his position a little bit.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, my heart, Joe, I can't take it.
I thought he was going to shoot the Cypher on that final shot then. Ooh.
Sonic completely done with Harrier, and he's already onto his leap of faith with his menu set up. Real commanding lead now.
No,
Joe's good at the Harrier too. That's +1. And he's not going to go down for the better menu, but this looks good. Yep, 5+1 from both.
There we go.
Great display. So he didn't gain any time on that. He didn't catch up any time, but he didn't lose any, which is really important.
Yeah.
Joe also doesn't have the chaff now, so we're going to see an M9 strategy out of him for the window guard, providing he makes leap of faith. And he did. Oh, Joe did have the chaff. He must have picked it up on the BC bridge and we didn't spot him doing it. But he has done that in previous races.
We can imagine thinking about it as well, though that's a decent amount slower. Because you're not having to go out of your way for that second set of chaps on strat A.
Yeah, it is certainly slower to pick them up on the BC bridge, but Joe prefers it, I guess, to not even try and pick them up on A and get hit by the Claymore. It's just more of a conservative play.
Yeah, it was the old route for them as well, was to pick them up on BC. I still do it out of muscle memory.
For the longest time.
Yeah.
Joe got onto the wall really late there. He took it carefully. He didn't want to do the D-Lime special, which is where you run, try and get on the wall and fall off. Platonic well into the shell now.
Yeah.
To the lift.
Unfortunately, there's not much to worry about with blowing up Prez on VE either. He tanks a shot, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can hit him twice, but I have
Oh,
still
he tanks
I've
two.
still killed him. I killed him in a world record run on very easy console.
Oh, ouch.
I literally thought you were referencing that when
No,
you
no,
said
no.
it.
I had no idea. Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it's pretty ruthless. It was on speedrun fails. Platonic doing the frame one out of the water, so you can swim in a way that when you surface, you immediately get frame one out of the water. And Platonic actually tested them all, so he knows which spot you have to be in specifically to get every single frame one. It's worth about 5 seconds overall,
Wow.
and that's what it's come to now. They're looking into finding how to get out of the water frame one, things like that.
I can see what you mean now with the skill cap for the movement being a bit higher, because there's a lot of these little newer parts, like with Platonic tests and those frame ones.
Yeah,
I had
when you
no
have
idea about.
when you don't have survival to focus on, it really just opens up the game for like what
Yeah.
else is there.
Which is why very easy has like really surprised me during this tournament, because I haven't looked into VE much. I've been mainly a normal runner, but
Yeah, it's
I mean some of the strats they're doing in VE is really piquing my interest. Been glued to the screen for this entire tournament.
it's been really intense,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, I think at this point, I think Joe will go for swim glitch, and I think Platonic won't. He's going to have to get a real good swim glitch just to sort of get back in the running,
Yeah.
which is kind of scary. Um,
If he can get first cycle, that's huge.
yeah, and after that, it's really going to be a case of, is Platonic going to make a mistake? Because that's what Joe needs.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say, there's anything wrong with the way Joe's playing. He's playing cleanly. Platonic's just got that edge, that bit more cleanliness.
Yeah.
And he really is. He's a quiet guy, but he really is a master of this game. He's very, very good.
Mm. That's one thing that's been so nice to see in this tournament, is just the amount of runners that me being an old boy in the community have never heard of before, and just looking at all these new runners, just like, wow, there's so much like amazing talent here.
Yeah, I think that just comes from
Platonic's
going for swim glitch.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He's surfaced. He's just going to swim now, I think.
No, he's always going for it again. No, he's just got to.
He's got to swim
he's
now.
Locked in. He's locked in.
Oh no, Platonic.
Oh no.
This is hard to watch. He's got to get up there. Swim normal. Swim normal.
For it, yeah. Being Joe in this scenario now, what do you do?
A swim glitch from Joe will bring him back. I think he would have done it anyway. But a swim glitch from Joe will bring him back into this race.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's back into it either way. He made up a lot of time there. Here comes Joe for the swim glitch.
Yeah.
He's got to get up there fast. It's that horrible where you get where you go around on the first cycle and you're not very high.
Yeah.
That's painful to see. He's got to get it soon. And surfacing as well. There's nothing worse. I can't stress enough for people watching how hard this glitch actually is, and why we've seen so much variance in people performing it.
Yeah. It's one that even if you put hours of practice into, it can still just throw a curveball at you. It is very ruthless.
Joe's up there. Joe's up there. 4 cycle, 5 cycle.
Oh, he's having some trouble just getting the last bit of height.
If you go to the left side there, it'll let him out.
Oh, he surfaced! Oh, no.
Oh, Joe.
Oh,
you can't press up at any point. If you press up on the control stick at any point,
D-pad.
Yeah, it'll surface you. We've seen some pretty good swing glitches from Joe as well. I think it's just that extra level of pressure. But if
There
he
we
had
go.
gone, I thought he'd surfaced again. Thank God.
No.
But it's just that extra level of pressure.
Yeah. No, like you said, if he'd gone over to the left, because the hitbox over on the left is very screwy, and
Yeah,
you can just glide up the side of that wall from the left side.
yeah. Once you're at a certain height, it'll let you climb up, right? Like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Respect to Joe though, and
Yeah, he
Platonic.
walked into it.
That was some craziness from Platonic going for that.
I suppose Platonic was just looking to enhance his lead, but pressure's off now with Joe not being able to get it that quickly.
I think we're about the same position we were before, right? Maybe Joe's fallen, possibly even a little
Yeah.
bit more behind.
Yeah, I think from that 4-5 cycle swim glitch, Joe's a little bit further behind now than he was, but not by much.
We've seen I mean, we get a break here. You know, once we take him into the offense, we'll get a little break from seeing major changes between the two players. But throughout the rest of the run, there's mistakes to be made.
Oh yeah.
Platonic, I think, is really going to be thinking about: should I be doing Jejunum save? Should I, you know, what safety plays can he make to just keep this lead now? And Joe's got to go for everything, which, to be fair to him, he does anyway. He does just seem to play really aggressive. Platonic again, frame one out of the water. I think Platonic had every frame one out of the water. So about 5 seconds just in the swim section. Platonic's one of those guys where you can come up with an idea that might save time, and in the distance you can just hear the sound of him booting up substance to check it.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think Platonic has felt the pressure in this race. Definitely more so since yesterday Joe put out a 104 flat in a race. I think he's I think that sealed in everyone's mind that Joe's a really good competitor, especially in a race setting. That swim glitch would have made all the difference, and it's a shame he didn't get it. I think they'll both bump Emma. It's pretty free, right?
Everyone used to say that about stay bump, and then suddenly Emma started clipping through the through the wall.
Yeah.
There we go. Platonic got it.
Looking good. I think Platonic's got a really good end game as well. Well, they both do. I always worry I've not got her fully in the elevator. I know it's when the camera changes, but I feel like the door's just going to cut her head off or something.
Yeah, I've been caught out with that a few times where I've like, oh, she's in the elevator only to go up to the next floor and she's still downstairs. I'm like, well, wasn't close enough, clearly.
He's got some time to make up here, Joe. I'm just going to time it out and see what the difference is. I'm assuming it's about a minute. He had a little trouble killing the guard there as well. I think does he take this bit safer and shoots the guard, or will he just take the angle? I know for a while he was taking this room really safe and tranking the extra guard that comes out while you bring in Emma. But no matter what happens, Joe has put a really stellar performance into this race.
Oh yeah, I think all the runners have done exceptionally well considering.
Joe is a European Extreme player. He plays European Extreme. He goes for Big Boss. That's his thing. When the tournament got announced, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll try this out." And then, every day we saw him practicing it, and it was like, it's cool when someone takes part, but it's even cooler when someone really goes in on it and
Yeah.
wants to prove themselves. Like it's awesome to see, and almost getting a 103 in a race when you're this new to the category.
It's insane.
Outstanding, really is outstanding.
So we're at one of the slowest parts of the run now, especially on VE. Well,
Yeah, there's just not a whole lot to do. There's not a whole lot to do on VE. That's the thing, which can be good or bad. Sometimes you need a breather.
Yeah.
Gives you a chance, especially in a race, to check what the other person's doing, which can be good or bad for your thinking.
And especially in the closer races as well, you just need a few minutes to de-stress.
Yeah, but it can also take you out of it as well, and it can mess with your momentum. So, you start that oil fence in one mind, and you come out of it in a different one. That can happen. We may see some seagulls getting murdered here.
Go for the swag strat loose sometime and have Rose lecture you on killing seagulls.
Yeah. Joe tends to get out the D mic here, and he even did it in the race against Bath, which cost him his first 103.
Oh no.
So I hope he won't mess around with it this time. But he may think, oh, I'm behind. I can just mess around with the D mic. I mean, I've tried to work out what Joe's thinking a few times and got it wrong, so who knows what he'll do. He's an enigma. And Joe's painted smiley face drawn on the wall while he's waiting.
Love to see it.
It's my argument for best soundtrack right here.
Oh yeah.
Twilight Sniping.
The Metal Gear games in general have amazing soundtrack.
Yeah, I feel like even if you took out all the gameplay elements and story of Metal Gear Solid 2, the game's still like an 8 out of 10 based on soundtrack alone.
I mean, considering this game is 19, it looks like graphically wise, it holds up so well. Apart from some texture work in places.
I think it's stunning. I think it's absolutely stunning. But I mean, you talk about a pretty biased person here when it comes to is Metal Gear Solid 2 a good game?
That's one of my favorite games of all time. I love this game. I mean, this is one of the areas, especially for me, that stands out of the game. Like, this is 2001, and it just looks stunning on PC.
Yeah.
We just need HD textures now.
with good codecs still, and the load's not counting for RGT, and then it would be a perfect game. The thing with MGS2, you need like elements of every single version mixed together to make the perfect game.
Exactly. That's one thing that's been annoying from like a consistency point of view, especially in the speedrun community, is just how many like small differences in the way the game actually works.
Yeah.
Between difficulties, like in 1.0 SOL, where FMVs aren't counted to the timer, so you save like 7 minutes towards the end of the run compared to every other category, and just little small things like that are just different and is a pain.
Yeah, it's like, oh, which version do you have? Okay, you gotta watch out for this. This works like this, and it's just complete minefield.
Yeah, that's why for the most part I've stuck to Substance and like Substance PC and PS2, because at least then there's not that much difference.
I think competitive wise, the PC version is the best.
Oh, 100%, because of loads and stuff like that.
Yeah. And we've seen it matter in these races going to IGT, that's for sure. Clean sniper from PlatonicGuy. 14:45 at Vamp 2, so it'd be interesting to see where Joe is.
Oh yeah, right, she's just corrected me on that. It's SOL, Sons of Liberty version 1.0 doesn't count loads, not FMVs. I remember I thought it was the FMVs before, but someone proved me wrong. Can't remember who it was though. But it is the loads. Right, Platonic on his way back to Shell 1 corner to open up into the last little branch of the game, being Arsenal.
Yeah, Joe is trailing him. I'd be interested to see if Platonic makes any mistakes that allows Joe to get back into this race.
Well, we've seen Tyler fail the Jejunum jump.
Yeah, never see me doing that, that's for sure. I think Joe's writing us a message. Does it say, help? So Joe's over a minute behind at this point.
Wow.
1 minute 12 behind. And it's fair to say, outside that swing glitch, game over in hole 2, he hasn't played bad.
No, they've been fairly close. All things aside, which has been great.
You just have to do so much to catch PlatonicGuy. It's crazy.
The level of consistency in his general movement is astounding.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him fall over once, right, and mess up swing glitch. That's it.
That's literally it.
He
The swim glitch catches everyone off guard from time to time.
He is he's had world record for MGS2 very easy in a time when it was extremely difficult to get, and he's also second person to ever get a 102 in very easy, which is again incredibly hard to do. And although I knew he was capable of getting something like that, it was still surprising when he first posted it. So yeah, V world record holder. At one point, not anymore, but very, very strong player.
Oh, 100%. I assume when you said getting world record and it was hard, that was back when everyone was integrating EU extras, was it? Or
no, I'm saying when it was hard, I mean recently.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Like getting a 102 is
yeah. That was a problem with a lot of categories, was the time was so close on it because nobody really innovated on strats. Everyone just copy pasted EUEX. And then when everyone started exploring the difficulties and it just broke open, just cracked wide open and people pulled away from each other.
Yeah, now that we have a full MGS2 guide for very easy, we can see that everyone is tending to hover around that 104 range, and that's like your entry point. Whereas at one point, 104 was world record. You know,
Yeah.
like so much went into it, and people find it easier and easier to get to that level, which is cool. It's good for the game.
Oh, 100%.
This was my first speedrun.
Same.
November 2018.
Oh, I
So
don't know when mine was.
it's very cool to see it get to this point. It's very cool to see so many people doing it. Such high level competition, massive upsets, new players, old players. It's a great time.
Oh, 100%. We don't get to see Kendall riding, unfortunately. Feels bad.
I don't think Joe has too much of a problem with Jejunum. I've seen him do it a couple of times now, and it was very clean.
Oh.
I think there's too much at this point to catch Platonic.
Platonic giving Snake a cheeky stab.
He's over the gap. It's the most important thing, getting over the gap, whether you
Yes.
have an alert or you don't.
Is this 10 seconds time loss, is it? If you fail it?
If you fall without an alert, about 10, 12 seconds. If you fall with an alert, it can be up to 30.
Wow.
Yeah, I lost 35 seconds at it versus back.
That's brutal.
But again, Tengu 1, you can lose time by missing the door. Tengu 2 has such a high variance. The fastest Tengu 2, I think, is 47 seconds. You can see anywhere up to like a 115, 120, depending on how quick you kill the guard. So, amazing amount of time to be lost there. This left side Tengu 1 is relatively new as well. I think that's another BMN classic strat that he's come
Looks
up with.
very fast. There we
Getting
go.
the
Platonic
getting the
kill.
glitch with the angle as well. It's awkward to do that.
Yeah, I seen that with
Tyler's,
Tyler last
yeah,
round.
I was about to say Tyler's looked a bit suspect, but it worked, and
I
that's
was
all that matters.
terrified for Tyler's last run.
Platonic does have world record for fastest Tengu 2 with 47 seconds.
Wow.
It's not really race viable. It's not really single segment, marathon viable. But
Yeah.
as long as you're killing the guards and you're in a good position, which is what he's in. Oh, my mistake, chat. It wasn't BMN. It was Platonic's. So, sorry, Platonic. Yeah, Platonic's Tengu 2 is looking really, really clean. Generally, the less guards that fall, the faster it is. But you also have issues with Snake can get knocked over. Snake can go into a weird position. He can stand in front of you while you fire your stinger. Joe's starting Tengu 1 and he went for a strategy where you kill the guards and you don't get shot. Which I have seen him do before, but he hasn't managed to get it in a race yet. He's switching for the SOCOM for a faster
There we go.
door glitch. Both of them very clean there.
S3 stands for solid snake.
Platonic's Tengu 2 looked good. I mean, it wasn't the fastest Tengu 2 of all time, but it was nice. And that's all you want, really. Just
Oh, yeah.
keep the lead, play the race out. Doesn't matter if you win by 1 second or 1 minute, as long as you win. Joe's got a nice clean start here. Sometimes if you kill them fast, the guards will see how he held his position. He completely
Yeah.
stopped out of view. That can happen if you're killing them too fast. He'll run back, and then you get 3 come out at once, and it's very difficult to kill them all. So you'll get 1 drop.
Not like that
As I say,
again.
huge variance in that fight, and things can happen that you don't want them to. Joe's getting very unlucky with the way guards are working here, but he seems to be killing them well. I don't know why he decided to switch to a lower spot. Generally, you never want to aim down unless it's right at the end, and you just have 1 to kill like that. That's the only time you should be looking down. But that was a fast Tengu 2 from Joe. That looked good.
I've got the Solidus monologue now. So unless something goes really wrong with Razor Solidus...
But Platonic took a step forward at Raise, which is terrifying. I don't like to move there at all.
Are you awake yet, Jack?
54 at Raise for Platonic.
I admit that I underestimated you. I'll squeeze the answers out of you instead, my son.
Right, he's drawing more smileys again, Joe is.
I don't think we'll be going to IGT on this one, but an excellent race from them both here.
Oh, no doubt.
Platonic's letting Solidus do as much damage as possible to him because he's a troll.
Him I want the answers from.
Yeah, so it's looking like Joe's still a minute plus behind, roughly.
Yeah, literally a minute and 3 seconds. Wow.
I love this strat that Joe does on Raise where he goes west, so he gets way more of a view of the hitbox of the third ray that jumps off. Save boss for Joe.
Oh, he accidentally hit the save there.
Platonic Solidus, open up with punches, doing the stab method. Stab knocks Solidus further away, so you're at missile range immediately. Very clean there. Is as close as possible to Solidus for him to still go into the missiles. We basically want to bait the missiles and then roll into Solidus. If you move away from him between phase 1 and 2, you'll get the short dash. And I wonder if Platonic will do a parry strat or whether he'll cartwheel into him for the kick.
An elbow.
Yes, my strat. Let's go, Platonic.
Nice.
That was excellent. That was excellent. Time for Platonic. 56-18. Well done, Platonic. Really, really nice.
This is where we first met. I remember now. Today is the day.
We'll let Joe finish up Solidus. Joe's got a very, very nice Solidus as well. I really like the way he fights him. He does the parry strats when Solidus dashes at you. Platonic's put in chat that he's got a 103.52, which is insanely good for a race. Insanely good.
Yeah.
But Joe, I mean, outside of that swim glitch problems,
That one
he
ride
put up a
down.
really good race. Yeah. Joe put up a really good race today. As I say, on paper, Platonic is the better runner. But just Joe's mentality and what he's willing to go for in a race, he kept it very competitive for the majority of it. It's been really cool to see him run this difficulty. Let's see if Joe will do the parry strat. Yep, see that as he dashes towards him. Timing is very awkward and it's obviously costly if you mess it up. He got it twice successfully.
Again.
That is not, honestly, he has one of the fastest Soliduses I've ever seen. Time for Joe. Very well done. Very well done to both.
This is where we first met.
I think, are they going to be joining us?
Today is the day.
I'm not sure.
That's it.
Very, very well done to them. I think we're going to get Joe in here. We definitely want to get them both in here, right? We definitely want to hear from them both.
I think I found something to pass along to the future.
What?
He said all living things want their genes to live on.
Are you talking about the baby?
Yeah. The genes aren't the only thing you pass on. There are too many things that aren't written into our DNA. It's up to us to teach that to our children.
What kind of thing?
Yeah, Plywood's giving them the all clear to join. What can you say, Scout? Day two? Day two?
I know, day 2's been great. I'm just looking forward to Sunday now. I feel like Sunday's just gonna be amazing.
It will be fantastic. Welcome, Joe. Really good race from you there, mate. You kept it competitive for the majority.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Platonic. It was
Oh my god, I'm never doing swim glitch again.
What was going on there? What was going on there?
I mean, for me, it was no regrets. I made the decision to do it because I saw him try to do it, but didn't get it. Saw it as an opportunity to try to get ahead. Even if I swam normally, I would have just been trailing behind him because I know how good he is in the end game, regardless of how solid this goes. And I just felt like that was my only chance because I felt like he was too far ahead of me after Harrier to not go for it. But I was close, got just up to the ceiling, and then I dropped it. Then I knew it was over.
I wouldn't have counted yourself out that much because your end game was also very, very good there. Your Tengu was fast, Jejunum no problems, Raze was great, and your Solidus was exceptional. Like, so I wouldn't count.
That was the one
your
good
end
thing
game out.
That was the one thing I'm happy with is that my Solidus was better today than it was yesterday.
Solidus was superb.
Yeah, Platonic, congratulations for the win, mate. That was a really solid performance. What was your final IGT time?
103.52.
Yeah.
Nice.
High 103 in a race. It's really good, especially with no ladder glitch. We had you down as going safe for the whole race, but then somewhere around Shell 1, you just decided to go for some crazy stuff. You rolled up the stairs.
On Olga, I think I got a 6-shot Olga. And I was
I saw
really
that. I felt
nervous.
so bad for you, dude. You hit the arm twice at the end. I was like, oh no.
But
Oh,
I
but
think,
then
like you said,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
like you said, around Shell 1, after that, I was starting, like, the nerves were starting to go away. It was really just after that ult, I was like, oh my god, am I just going to lose time everywhere now?
Yeah, we actually had a restart. At the start. What was going on with your controller, Platonic? We
Yeah,
could see
thanks.
it was broke.
Yeah, thanks for letting me restart that. It's just the wire just kept disconnecting.
Oh,
I was
no.
like holding it in one arm and trying to use the controller at the same time. I don't know why. In practice, I didn't get that. It just happened now.
No,
But I
I think.
switched it for a different cable.
How did you feel about the restart, Joe? Were you all for it, or were you against it? Or
Well, like I saw he said that he was having controller issues and then thought things were okay, but then it seemed like it kind of happened again, even worse. And I actually felt bad for him because I did not want an advantage of any kind just because of a technicality. I would rather face some, toe to toe, controller to controller, and I was fine with the reset. I mean, we weren't really that far in, honestly, and probably my
Where
engine room
were
was
you?
crap. I was
No,
in the
Where?
engine room, and I didn't really get a good start to it anyway, so it was kind of a good thing when we
you,
started
you you
over.
basically had the same thing, right? You both got the left side Olga to begin with. You both did the strategy where you shoot her as she comes around the side, and it looked to be the same tanker apart
I
from
think
the
we
controller
both,
issues.
yeah, we both had left, and then we both had right the second attempt, which I was like, man, what are the odds of that?
Yeah.
And I got a really good aims as well on my splits. What was
Yeah, I
yours?
saw that. You had a really good one. Mine was Northwest again. It was the same one as yesterday.
Did you take the shortcut again?
I did because I
Nice.
said this the other day, but I've been training myself to look in that corner as I go down in the event that he's up there, so that way I can try to dart across and not go all the way around.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was in the exact same spot, and I was like, oh, great. But I think our Harriers were both about the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were both 5+1.
5+1.
Wow, yeah, good job, dude.
Mhm.
Yep.
But yeah, it was like I felt like going into Shell 2, I saw him failing the swim glitch, and part of me was like, if I just swam normally, I would have still been slightly behind and might have been closer. But I mean, Platonic, he's a good player. I mean, he makes very little mistakes. And I figured, okay,
So
if this
much.
was yeah, well, besides that, I mean, I screwed it up too. But it was like I saw that as an opportunity to try to get ahead and maybe shift the pressure over. And
Mhm.
I got really close, and then I dropped it, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is over.
I
So I
think
was at that point, I kind of accepted at the sniping fence that the run was over.
I think it was like it wasn't so much a Hail Mary, but it was just an aggressive play that could have given you a real lead there, and it was the right call, and it was cool to see you like acknowledge that and go for it.
Yeah, then
Platonic going
I
for
was
it.
just yeah, I mean, I was just persistent, and then when I failed it, when I got close, I was like, "Ah, okay, I don't care. I just want to get this glitch so I don't feel like I failed it or something." Which I mean, I kind of did, but I don't know. I still got it.
Like I was considering it after Harrier. I was like, okay, I feel like I'm on really good pace. My splits, the broom right before swim glitch was 103.02, but that has swim glitch in it. So if I didn't
Mhm.
do it, it would have been 103.20. I was like, maybe if I get even a bad swim glitch, I bring it
Yeah,
down to
I
a
saw you were
102.
struggling trying to get the height, and I think you ditched it like after the fourth attempt, and then I got like I was like one like body length close, and then I dropped it. And
Yeah.
I was pretty upset, but I was like, ugh, all right, I'll just try to do it again since it was already over. Because, like I said, I felt like going into Shell 2, you were like a room and a half, what felt like ahead of me, and I started to catch up a little bit, but I don't know. Sometimes you just roll the dice and it comes up snake eyes. No pun intended.
Yeah, exceptional race from both of you, and now Platonic moves on to the semi-final. Is going to be going against Bestwick. I feel like they're very similar players. How do you feel about going against Bestwick tomorrow, Platonic guy?
I'm looking forward to it because, like you said, we have similar play styles. We're both going to go probably for EF bridge. We're probably not going to go for a ladder glitch.
Yeah, you had to just both scared of the holds, and you both roll upstairs, no problem.
Yep.
What about BMN versus D Limes? Any predictions from you on that game?
I think I think like Limes is very consistent. He's probably not going to go for swim glitch like I did, so he's going to get like a mid 103.
Yeah,
I'm I'm gonna go ahead and say between yeah I'm gonna say D Limes. If not, it's probably gonna be to like I'll say D Limes, but it's gonna come down to IGT, like an
and
IGT finish.
Yeah.
And any predictions from you, Scout, for tomorrow's games?
I think Bearswick and Platonic's going to be close. I mean, if B&M keeps it up, then and there's some upsets on Lime's side, then that could be anyone's game. But I think for the most part, that'll probably be Lime's.
Yeah. Thanks for the incredible game there, guys, and
Yeah.
it's been a great day of games in general. I'm really looking forward to